going to be showing you how to make this fish. Cod fish. It's tasty, it's simple, it's easy, it's healthy, and it's delicious. If you want to know how to make it, stay tuned and I'll show you how to make it. Today's episode is all about cod. So I have 3 pieces of cod here. I have salt, black pepper, and paprika on it. Now cod is extremely thick, so if you wanted to cut it in half to make it thinner, you're welcome to do so, but we're cooking the entire thing thick. So in a skillet, I went ahead and I added coconut oil, and I also added grated ginger, pimento. I have thyme, sage, garlic, rosemary, and fire roasted tomatoes, as well as spinach. I let it saute for a little while. I thought my camera was taping, but it wasn't. So once I have my sauce going and it's at the right texture and taste that I wanted, I went ahead and added my cod. So the cod is very thick, like I mentioned earlier, so you want to definitely go ahead and make sure that you take your sauce and cover your cod, because you want it to become moist and you want it to be able to pick up all of the flavor from the spices that was placed in the sauce. So go ahead and take your spoon and just cover it thoroughly. Now this is going to need to cook for a little while because it is thick, and like I mentioned, because it's that thick, if you didn't want it that thick, you can go ahead and just slice it in two, make it a little thinner, but I love cooking it this way. So it just means giving it an extra 10 to 7 minutes on the stove, and it's guaranteed to be even more juicy. It's guaranteed to definitely cook through thoroughly and be more juicy. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more tomato because I've noticed that my sauce is kind of dwindling a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more tomatoes. And yes, I am using spinach. So I went ahead and cut my spinach extremely small. So just making it look really elegant, and you might want to think that it's something different than spinach, but it's spinach. And we all know that fish is good for us, and we also know spinach is also good for us. So you're definitely heading in the right direction. So I'm continuing to cover my cod, and I've turned the temperature down on the stove. This way it's not overly hot, but the temperature is, it's at medium, and I'm able to go ahead and really get the juices, get the sauce fully on the cod, and just kind of submerge it under there, so that way all of the flavors from my sauce will just be swallowed up onto the fish. So I'm gonna add a little bit more ginger. Ginger is actually so amazing with fish. It's just like, whoa, one of those things that you definitely have to try adding on to your fish is ginger. And because this is more like a saute type thing, it's okay to use ginger. You can also use coconut milk if you wanted to add that. So if you add coconut milk and ginger with coconut milk, I've actually cooked those two together and it actually tastes amazing. I thought that they would be like kind of conflicting, but it was really good. So I went ahead and I added white kidney beans. So it comes in the red, but this is white kidney beans, and I also added some more spinach, and I'm definitely going to go ahead and keep checking to make sure I have enough sauce, and to make sure that the sauce is enough to cover all of my cod. Alright, so it's looking great, it's looking amazing, but it's not fully cooked yet. Fish doesn't take a long time to cook, but like I mentioned, this particular cod is very thick, so you definitely want to make sure that it's cooked through thoroughly. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead in a couple seconds and place my lid on, and then this way it's really going to get a chance to just get really soft and moist. But before I do so, I'm going to go ahead and just baste my cod again. Just put a little bit of the sauce over it, just separate them and just give them enough space that they can really be submerged into the sauce, and yes, grab all that sweet goodness. Yes, Alright, so I'm just gonna separate it a little bit here and just cover it a little bit more, make sure I'm good, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cover it. So I'm gonna cover it for about 4 to 7 minutes just to give it some chance to cook and to make sure it's cooked through thoroughly. So make sure your temperatures are medium low and cover it for about 4 to 7 minutes. Once that's finished, it should look something like this. So this is it look even softer, and in some cases it might look like it wants to fall apart, but that just means that it's thoroughly cooked and all of the beautiful flavor from the sauce is officially merged with the meat. So go ahead and plate, like, enjoy, and share. On our next episode, we will be discussing setting up bridal show booths. If you're planning to attend a bridal show like the one we have coming up on June 7th at the Convention Center, you don't want to miss it. See you next week.